Should I refer to you as Steph Curry's female counterpart or Steph Curry as Caitlin Clark's male counterpart? Someone should break down the release time, which is essentially the same. If it was that vital to you to run the Kennedy Carter hip, check. Why would Caitlin get in trouble when we can't make it look like she was assaulted? Rivals in the women's basketball scene are nothing new. This year's WNBA saw a number of contentious debates and intense moments of triumph and controversy, including the ascent of rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, who has not only broken records but also sparked a flurry of opinions, most notably from former WNBA players. When legend Sheryl makes waves in the league, Clark's disparaging remarks about her spark, a wide-ranging discussion on the shifting dynamics in women's basketball that touches on issues of color, sexuality, and generational differences. It all started when Caitlin Clark's potential was disparaged by Sheryl Swoopes, a pioneer in women's basketball, during an appearance on the Asterisk and an apologetic Angel hosts the Angel Asterisk podcast. As the debate heated up social media, platforms exploded with responses from Caitlin Clark fans who defended her talent and criticized her for being out of touch with the current landscape of the game. Some even accused her of harboring jealousy and animosity toward Clark's success. Reese Swoopes laughed at the idea of Clark leading the WNBA in assists, seemed unconvinced that a rookie like her could make such an impact on the league, and clearly didn't see Clark as a threat. Caitlin Clark is a white heterosexual woman who dominates a field that has historically been shaped by Black women and LGBTQ figures. Many fans and analysts have speculated that Clark's comments may be a reflection of her frustration with the attention she receives in a space where Black queer women like Swoopes have historically had to fight for recognition. Some have pointed out that Swoopes' criticism of Clark may be related to more than just basketball rivalry. Swoopes did not shy away from these accusations, responding publicly, "People are coming at me saying I made those comments because I'm a racist. Like, first of all, Black people can't be racist, but that's the farthest thing from my mind," her defense. However, it didn't quell the controversy. The line between legitimate criticism and personal bias became blurred as fans, players, and commentators debated whether Swoopes' feelings were rooted in envy, race, or a generational shift in the league. While the storm of controversy raged on, Caitlin Clark continued to let her game do the talking. Fast forward to a historic night, and Clark broke the WNBA record for most assists in a single season, hitting her 317th assist, an incredible feat for a rookie. For many, this was the ultimate vindication of Clark's talent, especially in light of Swoopes' earlier remarks. The jokes and laughing emojis that once accompanied Swoopes' dismissal of Clark's potential now seemed out of place, as the young player not only lived up to, but exceeded all expectations. The WNBA is impacted by Caitlin Clark in ways that go beyond statistics. Even NBA stars like Anthony Edwards and JJ Redick have weighed in, complimenting Clark's shooting range and general skill. Her shooting skills, sometimes likened to NBA star Stephen Curry, has enthralled viewers and brought women's basketball back into the spotlight. Caitlin Clark is the greatest female collegiate player ever, according to Rick, a claim that sparked even more discussion among basketball fans. Despite all of the praise, Clark has maintained her humility, saying that it feels like a dream to be mentioned with legends like Curry. She frequently talks about how she grew up watching players like him and being inspired by his style of play. But she has also been open about the whirlwind of emotions that comes with her quick ascent to fame. In addition to being a personal triumph, Clark's accomplishment benefits the WNBA overall, which has long fought for increased recognition, higher attendance, and greater respect from the public and media. Everywhere she plays, Caitlin Clark is proving to be the spark the WNBA needed, as evidenced by the attendance figures. With an average of 15,300 people attending her games, Skyrocket has rejuvenated the league by attracting viewers who may not have previously been interested in women's basketball. As one pundit put it, nobody cared about the WNBA until that girl hating. When Clark arrived, this comment might have oversimplified the league's past and current difficulties. It is true that Clark is drawing previously unheard of attention to the WNBA, which has long been regarded as a hidden gem. As a 3-time MVP and 4-time day NBA champion, Sheryl Swoopes is without a doubt one of the greatest players in NBA history. However, the recent controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark has made people wonder how former players like Swoopes view the current generation of talent. Since Swoopes' era, the game has changed significantly, with players now displaying a level of skill, athleticism, and flair that wasn't as common in the early days of the league. One particularly harsh critic, J.J. Rec, pointed out that Swoopes played during a time when the competition was weak, implying that her dominance came against meter maids and lunch ladies. Although this comment was obviously exaggerated, it conveys the idea that the WNBA has changed and that former legends must recognize the sport's growth and the talent of today's players. Some have speculated that Swoopes is threatened by the younger generation because she hasn't publicly acknowledged Caitlin Clark's talent. After all, Clark's ascent signifies a change in the league's power dynamics, as young players like her are not only competing but also setting records and creating history. Whether or not Swoopes will eventually give Clark the recognition she merits is still up in the air, but for the time being, the former MVP appears more concerned with protecting her legacy than with embracing the sport's future. Despite the drama, women's basketball appears to have a brighter future than ever before thanks to players like Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is experiencing a renaissance thanks to Angel Reed and others leading the charge. More people are watching the game, more fans are packing the stands, and more media outlets are covering women's basketball than ever before. Clark's rookie season has demonstrated that there is a growing interest in elite women's sports, and the WNBA is well positioned to take advantage of this momentum. However, it's important to note that the debate over race, sexuality, and representation in the WVA is far from over. As the league continues to expand, so will the arguments over who should receive the limelight, and why players like Caitlin Clark are breaking barriers and challenging norms. Sheryl Swoopes basketball is only one aspect of saga. It also reflects the growing pains of a league that is changing from an underappreciated aspect of the sports world to a cultural phenomenon unto itself. The future is presented by Clark. Dynamic, marketable, and unquestionably talented Swoopes, on the other hand, embody the WNBA's rich heritage and serve as a reminder of the players who paved the path for today's stars. As the WNBA develops, discussions on gender, ethnicity, and the game's always shifting dynamics will also change. Regardless of Sheryl Swoopes' eventual recognition of Caitlin Clark's excellence, it is evident that she has already made a lasting impact on the sport and that her career is only getting started. Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly here to stay, and with each assist, three-pointer, and record she breaks, she is rewriting the history books.